to the Supporters Club. This is where we get together as Arsenal supporters and discuss the Arsenal. And you know what? It's a bit of a feel-good factor around at the moment because we're top of the league. Here to discuss our pressing topic, we got the legend himself, Chris Hudson, in the building. Big up yourself. Next to him, the emerging legend. Yeah, emerging legend. The Chris Hudson of the future. Matt's in the building, right? Then we go to our other fans in the base. We've got Jack, Ryan, Kenya, and Dylan. Guys, welcome along. The vibes are good at the moment, would you say? Yeah. Good vibes around Arsenal? Happy, everyone?
I'm happy.
Yeah. Happy, Ryan?
Mostly.
Ryan's never happy. But listen, what I wanted to discuss today is, obviously we are top of the league right now. But it's still very, very early in the season. Chris, you know that. A veteran like myself, long way to go. And there's a lot of people out there at the moment saying, I think Arsenal can win the league. Like, you listen to a lot of the pundits and that, and saying, when you look at that squad that Arsenal have got, it's absolutely unbelievable. The way in which the squad, even so far, has had to be used. No Saka for a portion of it. Odegaard in and out, getting injured every minute. We've had Havertz out, not been missed. Even Saliba. You remember a couple of seasons ago, when Saliba was out, Rob Holding came in and stuff like that. We were all fretting. Saliba was out. Mosquera came in. Was like, Saliba came back. There were people saying this would have been unbelievable a few years ago. I'd leave him in.
Yeah.
That shows that we've got right now excellent squad. But what's going to happen when everybody's fit, right? And is Mikel Arteta going to be able to get the balance right with this squad? Because it'll be very important. It's not just about, the league only. It's about fighting on all fronts. So, Chris, let me start with you. First of all, are you happy with the squad?
Yeah, of course I am.
Right? And then secondly, can he get, the balance right with this squad?
Well, I think he's learnt from the previous 3 years, Rob. And if he hasn't, God help us, but I think he definitely has. And there's no such thing, if you listen to Arteta, there's no such thing as a first 11. You're all 22 players are all part of it, e.g. he's finished a statement. So if you're on the bench, it doesn't mean he's naughty or I don't rate you. The whole squad, as it stands, is possibly one of the best squads I've seen since the Invincible year.
Still got to balance it though, Chris, right? Because I'll give you an example, right? When he talks about finishers and everybody. Remember last year, Trossard, the Villa game. He scored a goal, he didn't even want to celebrate. And apparently that was because he was a bit upset that he weren't starting games. So that will come at some stage. Season's just started, everyone's happy. And
the thing is, Rob, the way we get so many injuries, I don't think that's going to happen. No, seriously. I think one will come in and one will, at the moment it's one in, one out with the injuries, isn't it? But I think if you listen, I don't think there's any room in this Arsenal squad for people sulking. And I think if you do sulk, that's you finished. Because you don't mess about, Arteta. So that's my answer to that.
What about you, Matt? Is this the best squad you've seen at Arsenal?
By a country mile. By a long way. I think it's impossible to keep everyone happy. Arteta's not going to be able to do that. No manager is able to do that. That's not just in football, that's in life. You can't make everyone around you happy. But the good thing about this squad is no one is comfortable. No one's got that comfortability, apart from probably Gyökeres now, because there's no one there to replace him. But when Havertz is back, you might see a little kick in Gyökeres and a bit more hunger from him, but no one's spot is safe, and I think that's encouraging everyone in the squad to play better, because that if, Zubimendi knows that if he doesn't play well, someone's going to step in. Same with Rice, maybe not Rice, but Trossard. If Trossard's slacking, Martinelli will step in. If Calafiori's slacking, Lewis Skelly will step in.
All right, let me give you this though, right? Let's just say, a little bit further down in the season, say we're getting near Christmas, right? Madueke is back, plays a couple of games on fire. Arteta has to say, yeah, Saka, I think, sit out for a while, man, he's on fire. What about that situation? We saw even on Saturday with the penalty situation, listen, it didn't turn into anything, but that shows you the issues you could possibly have.
We've got our core. We've got a couple players that aren't moving. I think that's probably Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Rice, Saka. I'd say that's it. I'd say everyone else is sort of still fighting for that place. That's our core, but the others have to be on top of their game. Saka won't move no matter what goes back.
You don't think with the way Saka's been playing this season that there's a place up for grabs at least for competition?
Look, Saka's not been on his
obviously he's Saka, but with the way he's been playing this season, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, well, he's been injured for a little bit, but he's not been on his finest form, and I think he's still coming back fit. You can't move Bukayo Saka. You can't, because especially at home, the atmosphere, I've noticed when Saka's not playing, the atmosphere is nowhere near as good. People want to see Saka on the pitch.
Yeah,
he lifts us.
Yeah. What about you, Dylan?
In terms of,
have we got the best squad in the Premier League?
I'd say yeah. I think squad-wise we do have the best for the
better
first
than
time.
Liverpool's?
For the first time in my life, I think we've got almost a near enough like-for-like player in every position, apart from the midfield area maybe. Yeah. I think you look at when Saka was out and we didn't miss him one bit, not because Saka is not a good player. That's not what I was even trying to indicate there. I just think Madueke's come in and looked so above what we expected that him coming in was so bright for us. We've obviously lost. Who else have we lost this season? Kai Havertz. Haven't particularly missed him. Obviously, we've scored a few less goals than we're used to, but we haven't been conceding. So you don't lose games if you don't concede. In terms of the squad, I'd say it's probably the best in the league. Starting 11's up for debate, but yes, like Matt said, it's definitely the best squad I've seen in my lifetime.
Okay, Ryan, which squad's better, Arsenal or Liverpool?
I think I'll kind of mirror what Dylan said. I think Liverpool's starting 11. I think they're probably better than Arsenal, but our bench and our depth, and it's one of the things I've been moaning about as well, like for years. We've not had any squad depth. We've not had any players to come on. We've had to, shoehorn players into positions, including Lewis Skelly, who came good, but he was never a left back. He was he's the number 6. So I do think overall squad, yes, we've got the best squad because of our depth, but I still think Liverpool, minus their form, I still think their first 11's better than ours.
What about you, Kenny? Who's got a better first 11? Liverpool or Arsenal? Obviously, they've got Wirtz, they've got, Isak now, or Ekitike they could go with. Like
I'd say in the attacking areas, they've got better options. It's hard to say because, in the attacking areas, they're better. But for me personally, I think we've got a more stable midfield and defence. And I think if you speak to Liverpool fans, they're talking about their defence constantly every week. Do you know what I mean? They're having to put Szoboszlai, who's, in my opinion, been their best player so far this season, as a right back, because that right back area, they're missing Trent. Conor Bradley's not a Trent. Frimpong is not really a right back. So I think it's kind of close, but I'd say in the attacking areas, you can't ignore Isak, you can't ignore Ekitike, Mo Salah. I know Mo Salah's not really on form right now, but he's still getting goals and assists. So you can't really ignore that. Even someone like Cody Gakpo is really good. So it's not a lot in it though. I don't know.
Welcome along to Gunners Unfiltered. We got Yardman.
The next best manager is Unai Emery.
No, you're chatting rubbish. Remember you was telling me best manager is Emery. How's that worked out?
Unai Emery is a better manager for Mikel Arteta.
I want to win.
You don't want to win.
I do want to win.
Second is good enough for you. We didn't need to rush Odegaard back. If Odegaard's shoulder was healed properly, he could have done this. He could have done it quicker. No, honestly, you have to understand.
Are you being serious now?
I'm being serious.
Listen to what I'm saying, yeah? And listen carefully. And stop being deluded.
Robbie's deluded.
I'm deluded.
Yes, they always say to me, you're over 1 million subscribers. They want to know from you. No, we're not going to move on until you answer my question. The people that want to know.
So if he wins the title, are you going to give him credit?
If Mikel Arteta win the title, I will apologize.
The Emirates is cold pizza. That is Mikel Arteta's fault.
Yes. You giving Mikel Arteta too much control, even to run the canteen.
Being serious, though.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Putting conundrums as well to people, right, around here, right? So I'm going to throw the first one out to you, Jackie. I'm putting you right on the spot right now. You're Mikel Arteta, right? Who plays on the left?
I mean, for
Starts. You got a big game coming up. We got City or we got Liverpool, or it's Bayern in the Champions League, who starts on that left-hand side?
I mean, if you ask me at the start of the season, I think a part of me would love to say Eze, but I think it might be a bit controversial from what I've seen from Eze so far on the left, out in Bilbao, even Forest, I know he got the assist, even the Champions League recently. I think he's lacking a little bit on the defensive covering side compared to a Saka, compared to a Martinelli. That might be where he's new to the system. He's used to being a bit more expressive at Crystal Palace, etc. But I think in what we need, I would go with Martinelli. I think he's had his critics at the start of the season. I think he's shown them that he has still got it. He has still got the spark. I think the way we play, I'd prefer to have Eze in the midfield, which would leave the left wing spot open to Martinelli or Trossard. And if you're asking me to pick between them two, I'm always going to go Martinelli. I think Mikel's quote about being a finisher probably does suit Trossard more than anyone in our squad. I think he always looks way better when he comes off the bench. So I wouldn't want to shoehorn him in. Same way I wouldn't want to shoehorn Eze onto that left. Do I think they both could do a job there? Yeah. But if you're saying Man City's up next, Liverpool's up next, who am I putting? I'm going to go with Martinelli.
All right, I've got a really hard one for you. Yeah, this is what makes it really interesting, right? The squad's really good. And I'm going to come back on that one as well. But I've got a harder one for you, Chris, yeah? As I said, tough game in front of you. Liverpool at home, City away, Atletico Madrid. You want your strongest team out for that, yeah? Yeah?
Good.
What's your midfield? Midfield three. And the same with you, Matt.
Rice, Zuma, Mendy, and Eze.
No Odegaard.
No captain.
I've answered.
Matt.
I disagree. I'd start Eze on the left because I don't think we bought Eze with any idea of him coming back to defend. You don't sign a player like Eze to. He's not a Martinelli. He's not a Trossard. He's give him the ball and let him have fun. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see Arteta screaming at him on the sidelines to come back. I want to see.
But you know that's what Arteta does. He likes players to get back.
I don't want that. I want a midfield. I want the captain starting because the captain has to start. Odegaard, Zubimendi, Rice.
I disagree though, because imagine, look, remember Calafiori this season's actually been quite decent, but we've had problems with him tracking back. You know, he's very good attacking, but that if we leave that exposed, because we do need someone there when we're going back. We've seen that last season, man. Yeah. So, and Eze, like, I remember talking to you about this. You were telling me Eze on the left. I said, no, Eze number 10. Now everyone's on board with it, but I was saying it before. I wanted Eze as a number 10, at least centrally, because that is the kind of service we need to give a striker like Gyökeres. And we're losing him when we put him on the left. I'm sorry. And you can see Arteta's complaining as well, because he's not a left winger.
What's more of a threat on the left? Calafiori and Eze, or Calafiori and Trossard or Martin?
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, but we're a good defensive unit, and we're going to leave ourselves exposed. Calafiori's shown this last season. He's not sometimes. Yeah, I know he's been good this season, but we need that.
I've got to jump in there. He's locked up Mo Salah and he locked up Jarrod Bowen whilst playing in attacking positions. You can't say that. Let's look at the facts of this season. This season we've conceded 3 goals, 2 of which aren't even from open play. One was a free kick and one was a header from a corner and one was a fantastic goal from, as Jamie Carragher put it, the best goal scorer in our English history. Football history. I'm not disagreeing. And Calafiori played in all those games.
I'm not disagreeing. I just need longevity.
What he's trying to say is, what he's trying to say is, he's agreeing that we're more dangerous with Eze and Calafiori. He's agreeing with that, but we can't. But what we're so good. We're so good defensively. We're not going to sacrifice what we've got defensively for the sake of.
The thing is, Calafiori's on 4 yellow cards at the moment.
Yeah.
One more is suspended, so Miles will be back in there. And I know this might be very controversial, but if I was playing a game where my life depended on it, I'd have Miles out of Calafiori.
Agreed.
Would you?
Agreed. I like Calafiori. I think he's being a little bit overhyped from our fan base. I think that he's a great player. He's a great footballer. A lot of the things he does, this might just be a little bit stupid to say, it seems a little bit lucky. A lot of his touches.
No, it's chaos.
Yeah, he's a little bit chaotic.
But he's been given sort of like almost like a free role. At the moment, I don't even know where he's playing because like but it's great because
we don't have a left back because he's ended up on right flank sometimes. He takes good shots as well. He's great attacking.
But I think what it is, Ryan, like just my opinion on this, right? I think what it is that he's got that free role because Mikel Arteta knows that the other three there, Timber, Saliba, and obviously Gabriel, they can get into like a free at the back, and it's so good.
Yeah.
he can get forward and roam around, and he's done it to great effect. I think so far this season has been one of our best players. He's been really good. But you know what? I need your freeze. I want it because this is I noticed this one. It's a sticky one when you ask for that. I need all your freeze. Dylan, what's your free for the midfield?
It'd be easy.
Tough, innit?
No.
Oh, easy for you. Okay.
It'd be Zubimendi, Rice and Eze. Yeah, it wouldn't be Odegaard.
Zubimendi, Rice and Eze drop Odegaard.
100%. Yeah, no, Odegaard's he's not only was he already not. The thing with Odegaard is.
But look at that game.
The reason we tried to take him out of the idea of there being competition in the number 10 position is only because he's a captain and he shouldn't be the captain in the first place. Whether Arteta likes to bang on about everyone voting for it or not, I couldn't really care less. He shouldn't be the captain. It should be the Gabriel or Rice. And Odegaard's footballing wise on the pitch, he started to decline. I still believe in him, but he's started to decline massively in the last year, whether it be because of the injury or because of his kid or whatever it might be. But
obviously, he looked good. Like look at the game when he came back. Olympiacos, he came on well.
No, he came in against Newcastle.
Brilliant.
He looked good, and he looked decent against Olympiacos. But not only has he looked miles off it, he's started to be made of glass. He keeps coming off. He's not a leader. He isn't. I know they like to make out to me he's not a leader, and I think that's why I still put his position up for grabs, because in most situations your captain can't be a rotational player. Your captain's got to be someone, unless they're 36, 7 years old. Your captain's got to be someone who's playing week in, week out, which Odegaard isn't if we're at full strength.
Okay.
I think it's Eze's and
Kenya,
Rice.
you're free in midfield.
I've got to disagree, Dylan. For me, Odegaard should play. I love Eze, but I think Eze could play somewhere else in the team. I would want to see. I'd put Eze out on the left. I have actually enjoyed Eze out on the left, and as well he can come inside centrally. Him and Calafiori work pretty well together. But yeah, I just think the way Odegaard's been playing so far this season, he's been very unlucky with injuries. But Zubimendi and Rice, excellent, and I'd put Odegaard back in.
Ryan?
Yeah, it's an easy one for me, just like Dylan. Zubimendi, Rice and Eze. I've been saying it from the start of the season, we needed Eze, not number 10. When you put him on the left, you can see Arteta screaming, but he's not supposed to be there. That is not his position. He's great in the 10.
You can turn players into other positions.
No, I hear that, but again, but saying
he's 27.
But when I said, I'll get onto that as well, because that's my error. But when it came to Odegaard last season, I was saying we should drop him. Just like this season, we should have dropped him. Now, I'm not one. I put my hands up and said Newcastle. Brilliant. Brilliant. Like, he was influential. Olympiacos. I've not seen that Odegaard since 22-23. That is what we want to do. We want to play our striker into space. Gyökeres, besides the last 2-3 games, has not had any service, and we were seeing some that there. And obviously, that's when Gyökeres has to take some personal responsibility. We'll get onto that after. But Odegaard was doing that, but I don't think he's as consistent as he should be. And also, I never wanted him to be captain. We've had problems with captains at this club. Granit Xhaka's one. We should not have named these players captains. Now we have players that can be captains. We have two. And as Dylan rightly said, again, I said this as well, Gabby at the back and Rice, they have got that. Rice captain West Ham to the Conference League. Gabby's got a commanding nature about him. They are also guaranteed starters, as he was saying. We can't risk this anymore, and this is the problem. We're saying we're 7 games in. But if we start doing this, we start shoehorning Eze on the left when he's not a left winger. And again, we're going to see, this is what you don't like hearing from me, but it will catch up. If we leave at Calafiori,
you love that word, catch up.
It will catch up.
All right, we get yours, Jack. You're free.
I think
free in midfield.
I think it might be a bit different. Zubimendi, absolutely quality. I really like what he brings to the midfield. I think he's helped Odegaard out. I think Odegaard a lot last season had to drop deep to maybe do some of the job that Rice isn't the best at. But saying that, I would probably go, if you're asking what midfield three I want to see, I would go Rice, Eze and Odegaard. I think Zubimendi is quality. I don't have anything wrong with Zubimendi. But I think I want to see Eze play. I also don't want to shoehorn him in. I think Arteta's tried it. Obviously, we started at Newcastle with, or was the game the other day with Zubimendi on the bench. And I think Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber is enough in that defensive quality to give Eze and Odegaard that freedom, to give more chances to Gyökeres. I think we need to see that more on a consistent basis. But like you said, it depends on team. Maybe Man City away, you'd rather see a Zubimendi and Rice. I think on general, I think we're a better team than everyone in the league anyway. But them games we're always going to be going into favourites too. I want Odegaard and Eze in the midfield.
Chris, you see all the conundrums, isn't it? Like, everybody literally has come up with a different team, a different, and that's the problem Arteta's going to face, isn't it?
But the thing is, it's going to be horses for courses, Rob. You know, I'll keep the maintain. There's not a one. There's not the issue. There are certain players that are who play every week, Rice, Saka, etc., and the rest to rotate. But it's going to be horses for courses. It all depends who you're playing.
Has he found the right balance so far? I mean, listen, he's been accused of, especially a couple of games and break-up and stuff like that. I thought people went right over the top about that Man City game. Because when those fixtures come out in June, that was the worst opening fixtures I've seen in my Arsenal life. Yeah, no, it was tough.
And we've done so well. It's like building a house. That Man City game, he hasn't put the roof on. He's not going to go gun-ho and get beat at home by Man City.
Not gun-ho, but didn't you think...
No, but Man City...
Listen, the one that I thought we went overboard on was the Liverpool one. Because to me, I was at that game, right? And I've said this a million times. At half-time, when I don't know if you was there, Dylan, you were there, right?
It's the other way around. I think I went around on that one.
Yeah, you were there, right? At half-time, you was there, right? Half-time, you're turning around, fans are going, I'll tell you what, this is the best I've seen us play at Liverpool. It's brilliant, right? At the end of the game, they're like, negative. Yeah. Now, to me, it's Anfield. That's a tough place to go.
It made sense.
And for me, that made sense. All right, he could have went for it a little bit more, maybe in the second half, but I got that. The City one, though, I'm with some of these fans I did think that was a bit... Look at the midfield that he played, with Marino in there. I mean, how did you feel about that?
I mean, I compared it to how we used to play a couple seasons before, 22, 23, when we sort of had no fear. We'd go into games, we'd be 1-0 up in 5-10 minutes. Arteta played that team to go in at half-time at 0-0 and then bring on Eze and then bring on Saka. And then 10 minutes in, you find yourself 1-0 down, and the whole game plan changes, and we've got to then chase the game, and we've got to play against that low block. I think Arteta got that one wrong, but he's human. He's going to get a couple of things wrong. But I think that's the best thing that's happened to us, that draw, because I think it made Arteta realise how much talent is in this team, and that he needs to show a bit more fearlessness and stop worrying so much about not losing and focus more on actually winning the game.
You trust him to do that, Dylan? I mean, he has, last couple of games, I thought Newcastle were on the front foot from the start, which I really like, because if anything, that was the game I was thinking we could be a bit more pragmatic. But do you trust Mikel Arteta now to sort of, when needed, go for it?
It depends. It really depends. I don't know. It depends. No, because like you said, right, the Man City game, I think we can all agree he got it wrong. The Liverpool game, I'd actually argue he got it right with the lineup. Maybe it didn't work out in the end. We were unfortunate, but the lineup made sense. You know, Liverpool would look poor from set pieces, and he put Marino in there, who'd been scoring a lot of goals, obviously for club and country. He's obviously lethal from set pieces and lethal in the air. That lineup made sense. We just got unlucky. I think Man City, he set us up for failure, and I would say. I can't say I trust him because he's done it so many times before, and the last time he did it was only 2-3 weeks ago. So I can't say that on a consistent basis I've seen him get it bang on. I can't say I trust him entirely, no. But do I think he's learnt his lesson? Maybe, because like you said, against Man City, I think he realised when he brought on Eze, and Eze probably just went against anything he wanted and just kicked the ball over the top with the quality he's got into Martinelli. I think he realised, right, actually, I've got some players here who not know better than me, but have minds of their own. And I mean, I think he's learned. I wouldn't say I trust him going forward entirely, but he's definitely learned a lesson.
What about you, Jack?
I mean, I'm probably more on the opposite end of the scale where I do trust him, but I think that comes more down to the fact of what he has done. Obviously, in my lifetime, this is, like Matt said, it's the best squad I've ever seen. It's the best we've ever been, competing consistently for 3-4 years. I think he has enough credit in the bank for us to just let him do what he needs to do. I do get the thing as well about the whole shiny new toy thing. I think if Eze was criticised as much as Marino is, things would look a lot different when we're picking our starting lineups. I seem to remember Eze being really poor against Bilbao. Obviously, there's the clips in the League Cup game where he's getting shouted at, etc. Marino seems to be an easy one to sort of stick at. He's a defensive midfielder, but he's also a striker. We can't play him in midfield and stuff. It's sort of the easy one to get out Arteta. But as you said, Liverpool, I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch, and I think when he came off was when we started to concede that possession a bit. So I think it's just a bit more and just letting him get stuff wrong. At the same time, we didn't lose against Man City. We're saying, he got it wrong and stuff. We dominated the most possession against a Pep Guardiola team ever. We got a result. We got a draw. Obviously, yes, you want to win at home, but it's early in the season. Like you said, the fixture list we had at the start. If you looked at our results at the start of the season and you said we're going to get this many points out of that many games, I don't think people will be as angry as some people are at the moment.
We'll see.
All right, I'm going to do a little run around before we wrap up here, just to get everyone's strongest 11, because we've got a great squad, without a doubt. I think we've all said that here, but we're going to run through. Ryan, you start first. Your strongest 11. Rattle through it.
See David Raya, Jurien Timber. That's again, and Saliba, Gabby. That's when we start to question on the left back, because obviously I think Miles was quite consistent last season.
Okay, who are you going for then?
See again, I like.
No. Just tell me you're going for.
Calafiori's actually been all right.
All right, so who are you going? Calafiori or Miles Lewis-Skelly?
I'll go Lewis Kelly based on consistency.
Midfield?
Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard. Zubimendi, Rice, Eze.
Up front?
See Gyökeres still. Saka's indisputable. The left, Trossard's better off the bench, but so is Martinelli. It's hard. I'll say Martinelli, but that one's still question mark for me.
Kenya?
David Raya, Jurien Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Eze.
Dylan?
It's tough.
Kepa?
No, not Kepa. Strongest lineup, I'd probably go obviously David Raya in goal. I'd say Jurien Timber at right back. Obviously Gabriel and Saliba. I'd stick with Calafiori based off form, although I'm not giving up on Lewis Skelly one bit. Zubimendi, Rice, Eze in the 10. I really want to see. I really want to see Saka tried on the left, because we saw in his left back days, his delivery, early delivery, insane. His delivery is, I'd say, maybe the best part of his game. I put it above his finishing. I put delivery under end product. I think I just want to see Saka tried off the left because of how good Madueke's looked on the right.
Front three.
And then Gyökeres. So Saka left, Madueke right, Gyökeres up top.
Wow.
See tried.
Wow. Okay. Jack.
David Raya, Jurien Timber, by the way, best right back in the world this year, to put that out there. Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Rice, Eze, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, and I'm a bit of a wild card, Madueke on the left. I know he played one game there, but I think I'd rather move Madueke to the left than Saka, but I still want to see them both play. And I don't think Martinelli or Trossard have made a strong enough argument for either of them to be dedicated starters yet. So from what I've seen, Madueke on the left.
Matt?
I've got two different teams for home and away games.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's true. No.
It's cheating, man.
Well, okay, I'll go my main team. I'll go Raya.
Main team only.
Raya, Timber, Gabriel Saliba, Lewis Skelly, Eze on the left. Sorry, I'll go midfield. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Eze.
Finally, poor Ben White, man. It was a regular man.
Yeah, I think injuries are catching up.
Yeah.
This is my team, but there's 3 players that haven't even kicked the ball in anger for Arsenal yet. We're not even mentioned. Norgard, Incapia, Gabriel Jesus, and Havertz ain't kicked a ball this season except for 20 minutes. So, but anyway,
Gabriel Jesus,
Jesus.
But this is my team, so it's obvious. Raya, Timber, the obvious 2 centre backs, and Miles, left back. Mainly because I trust him more.
Yeah.
In midfield, Zubimendi, Rice, Eze. And this is where I'm going to be very controversial. Rice, Saka, Martinelli. Wait for it, Havertz.
Hold on, where's no Gyökeres?
Yeah.
Not at the moment, Rob.
Why?
Because I think he's finding life a little. The worst thing that's happened to Gyökeres was Havertz getting injured.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bring a Wenger thing into this. I always remember Wenger, when he bought players from abroad, he wouldn't throw them in, he'd have them on the bench so he could see what the English game's like. Gyökeres has been thrown in, he's played every game, he's been kicked from pillar to post, and I thought on Saturday, it's the first time I've seen his confidence dip a little bit. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of the Arsenal players were coming up with him. The boy, he needs a rest. He needs to be taken out of the firing line, and he needs a little bit of luck in front of the goal. I'm not writing him off, but you've asked, if I was playing the Champions League final this week, that team I've given you, I'd have Havertz in front of him.
Okay. Actually, I better give mine. All right, so Raya in goal, same back four as you guys. Well, no, not because you've had a mixture, but I go Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori for me. He's been excellent. I love Mars Lewis Skelly, but right now, the way what it is justifying that is just that with Miles, he inverts, and that's more or less what he does. Calafiori can invert, but he can also get out wide as well, and I think he offers a little bit more flexibility. The midfield, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard. I'd have Saka right, Gyökeres down the middle, and on the left-hand side, I'm going Eze. That's my 11. For everybody out there, we'd love to know your 11. I'd also love to know your conundrums as well, right? As it is currently, right? Trossard or Martinelli on that left-hand side, or is it Eze? I'd like to. That's one I'd like you guys to answer as well. But listen, as you can see, we've got a great squad. Is this squad going to be good enough to get us over the line? You've heard all the opinions of the guys, some great opinions, by the way. Let us know in the comments what your opinions are on it. But thank you very much, guys. Great debate. And listen, it's just great to be having this debate. And you know, normally it ain't like this. You know, we're sport for choice. Let's see what Mikel Arteta does.